We all remember that open casket, right? She showed her pain and what they did to him. So important that this film is being made now.
Like all that we have experienced in the past few years with the deaths of people such as Ahmaud Arbery here in Georgia, as well as Breonna Taylor, and of course George Floyd and many others that has happened since that time. There's no other story that speaks more to this generation and to this political climate and racial climate of this country than the story of Emmett Lewis Till. So I believe that when this story is told, it can awaken the sleeping giant once again, the sleeping giant for change, because I just believe that this movie is not only a movie, but a movement.
Totally agree. And I can't tell you how happy I am that you're making this movie, because it's a threshold question I ask people. Do you know who Emmett Till is? And I'm always floored by how many don't know. But my question to you will be is, what do you think this movie will mean to Emmett Till's family?
Well, I can tell you that Keith spent a lot of time with Mrs. Mobley. A lot of time. And his wish was to get it done in her lifetime. We weren't able to make that happen. I know she forgave us, because she knew we were trying. But this, I think, will be a huge step in, now you can't ever erase what happened to Emmett Till, but you can certainly make sure that it doesn't happen again in a big way, which is what Keith is talking about. You have to make sure people understand that this is not how we have to treat our citizens. This is not how we treat children. Because let's talk about the fact that he was a kid. He might have been tall, but this was a little boy. And these folks had him murdered and came in and murdered him. And this is only part of the story, because so much more went on and so much happened because of it, that's what we are bringing to light. And not everybody who participated is dead.
Yeah. Keith, like you said, this is not a movie, it's a movement. So what are you hoping that people understand after watching this film?
Well, I hope people will understand the proper story of Emmett Till and how his death became the catalyst that sparked the American Civil Rights Movement. To not know this history is a disservice to us all. So it's very important to understand not only the legacy of Emmett Till, but the courageousness of my dear friend, mentor, Mrs. Mamie Till Mobley, and her struggle to fight for justice for 45 years until she unfortunately passed away. So it's a story that needs to be told time and time again. And as she would say to me, Keith, you must continuously tell Emmett's story until man's consciousness is risen. Only then there will be justice for Emmett Till.
That's absolutely true. And film very often can raise people's consciousness. It's an important thing that you're doing, you and Whoopi. Thanks to Keith Beauchamp and Whoopi. We will see you next week when you're back, and we will be right back after this.
Yes.